Hey guys, this is my attempt at the WGT live series May Open. And by attempt, I mean my best attempt, the best one I managed to record. And if you wonder why there's no webcam this time, it's because it was a casual round that I recorded. I recorded some as I normally do, and also whenever I played on my laptop downstairs. I recorded those two just in case I put a good score in, which is exactly what I did here. A great approach at the first hole. Normally you can leave this approach shot short of the green or right at the back. There wasn't much in between, so to get it there wasn't too bad, but unfortunately it was going to be a tricky putt back down the slope, and I did not plan to roll that out 8.5 feet past. Thankfully though, it was an uphill putt. I could hit it a bit harder, and I walked away with the birdie. On this second hole, I decided to cut the corner a bit more because of the fact we're going downwind. Mission accomplished, although I did almost run out of fairway in the end. Second shot, just a wedge in hand up the hill, managed to get to land just on the front of the green, and I ran out to quite a nice position actually, just to the left of the flag. Once again uphill, I could be aggressive with the putt. Unfortunately, in this case, I was a bit too aggressive. I had to settle for the par there. What a shame. We come to the par 3 now, and I mean, it's very hard to get it onto that tier again because of the wind in this case. So I was happy to leave it just a bit short because I'd rather be a bit short than a bit long, because I can then do this. Knock it in there nice and close with a nice little flop shot there. And once again just tap it in for the par. Onto the fourth hole, and I pulled my tee shot a little bit to the left. I got very lucky here because if you so much as touch that path or just look at it funny, you got a lost ball. So the fact it hit the rough, very fortunate for me. And I was surprised with the result of the approach shot. I thought it was going to be hard to get it up there, but I hit it a bit harder than I was expecting out of that rough, and I thought to myself about 9 feet down the hill. But it went in. 2 under through 4 holes, just before a par 5 too. Great time to do that, as I always say. It's a shame this time I did try to bite off a bit more than I could chew. Lost that tee shot unfortunately, so I had to reload. Tried the shot again, because I'm an idiot. But this time it carried easily, and I don't really know what the difference was between those two shots. But then, this happened. I bet you thought that went in then, didn't you? I certainly did. But I got the same beautiful shot instead of birdie. That was disappointing actually. But we saved par, or what could have been an eagle, so again, equally disappointing. This is always a tricky tee shot on 6. I'm sure I mentioned this many times. Hit it a bit less than you think to keep it in the fairway. Otherwise you can find yourself in the creek. Another good approach shot here. As you can see, the heartbeat's already going. Got it to land just in the front and release out to about just short of pin high there. Although we are, I believe, on the wrong side. Didn't stop us though from making another birdie there. About to say consecutive birdies, but we didn't make one at the par 5, did we? And if we had done it, we'd back to back to back. So incorrect on so many different levels. I had to go with this tee shot because of the wind being in our favour. Not a bad place to leave it. Unfortunately, well, it's kind of a bad place to leave it because of where the flag is, but I hit it out safely to the left there, and unfortunately lipped out the birdie putt, but it's another one of those, when the flag's there, you kind of have to walk away with a par, if you're honest with yourself. Downwind on this par 3, not really ideal when you've already got to take into account the fact you're going severely downhill. But most like safely between the two bodies of water there, or the same body of water, just weaving around the green. This ball didn't quite feed in enough here, so been a tap in for yet another par. No, this isn't really that bad going, but when you need to, at this point, probably about 10 under already, it's not ideal. But it's one in the fairway nicely there. 55 yards away from the flag, and apparently I didn't leave the approach shot in, even though I'm pretty sure I had put that in. Oh well, we'll just roll with it. Obviously, it didn't hold the pitch, didn't hold the putt there, but there we go. We are 3 under through 9 holes. Just a few missed putts really, and we could have made eagle on the 5th if we hadn't lost our first tee shot. But other than that, I mean, can't really complain too much. Just standard performance for me, really, isn't it? That's what we're used to. But you know, slow front 9. And the fact you're watching this suggests we must be seeing some magic on this back 9. So let's find out, shall we? Straightforward opening tee shot on the 10th hole. Hit my 8 iron here, downwind. Probably didn't give it enough to actually get it onto the green, which was disappointing. Because again, the wind should have carried it forward. And even though I knew that wasn't going to go in because we would have had the heartbeat going, I still can't believe how close that got. But we start the back 9 with another par, and move on to the 11th hole, another downhill par 3. I feel like the course designer really likes this type of hole, because apart from the one that goes severely uphill, I think the rest of them are all pretty much like this. Good tee shot there, tap that one in for a birdie. We move to 4 under par. On to the par 5 now, and this is again, like most par 5s, don't know what I was going to say that, a good scoring opportunity. Okay, what is up with these missed shots? I could have sworn that they were there just now. Oh, well, that's my approach shot ended up. And that one was tracking, and so I managed to lip out and still carry on going down the slope. About 4 feet past. It's amazing. That one had enough to go that far past, but not enough to hit through the break. Simple layup here, just into the fairway. No point trying to be a hero. As Tina Turner used to say, we don't need another one of those. So yeah, simple ball into the fairway there. Thought I hit a really good shot here. Fortunately didn't quite roll on. If it had done, that would have been pretty close to the flag, I would say. Probably about there, in fact. Nice little flop shot. I always opt for the flop shot around the green because the ball shouldn't run out as much as a pitch or a chip. That's why I do that. And yeah, we escape with par again. Got a bit fortunate with this tee shot because again, if you go a bit left, it's a lost ball. And the fact I hit that slope means I'm only 44 yards from the green, although not in a particularly good position. Made sure this one got up there. Fortunately, hit it a bit too far past the hole, but that's fine because you know just try to avoid making bogeys. So I expect the odd par now and again, and that was still a birdie opportunity. Just didn't quite hit it hard enough. So that's another par. But now we enter what I tend to call the scoring zone of this course, because I think each of these last 4 holes you're capable of making a birdie on, and definitely in this case from there, it's just a kick in from there. So yeah, you're looking to get out of these 4 holes at least 4 under, potentially even better, especially if the conditions go in your favour. Just hit this one again to the fairway. I don't know why I'd be hitting it anywhere else. It's simple. About pitching wedge distance, but I decided to opt for the 9 iron, and it looks like it was a good decision because it's going to be very close once again. Bit more than a kick in this time, but still looking at about 6 feet from the hole. In fact, it was 6 feet, good. And knocked that one in nicely. Got to 6 under par. Slightly downwind on this par 5, which is, I guess, what you want, even though you are technically sort of laying out towards the edge of the fairway there, as I did perfectly in this case. What I do with this shot, if the wind isn't blowing in my face, is to make sure I give it enough to get to the middle of the green. That's exactly what I did here. Tricky part, but again, it's an outside chance of an eagle. Chance to get to 8 under par, but failing that should be a simple 2-putt for the birdie. Fortunately, didn't quite get this one enough, despite the fact it was going downhill all the way. If I was hit a bit harder, it might have actually dropped in. But we'll never know. What we do know is we got lucky with that birdie putt, as it could have easily lipped out. And now our final tee shot. Decided to go for the green since it was downwind. Hit the path and was fortunate enough to catch enough rough to stop it just behind the green there. Once again, I decided to opt for the flop shot here. I had to carry it a long way, otherwise it would have probably gone down to the front of the green. But that's probably about as good as we could do from there. So that's just an uphill putt of about 7 feet. And I nailed it. 8 under par. As you probably guessed though, not close enough. I think the last time I checked the score was like 48, leading score. But a good back nine. Scoring stats there. Can't really say more about that. Driving, about 3/4 of the time we were in the fairway. Scrambled every time today, so that was good for us and the stats. And putting always needs some work. But we'll get there. We will get there.